Welcome back. Today we are going to be picking the Master Lock 140. In the lock sport community, it is a flagship lock that everybody recommends when you're starting out that you pick it. It's good to learn the fundamentals on. It's semi-forgiving. And the loose tolerances make it a relatively easy pick. Before you go into more complex locks, the simple core and design of the lock allows a lot of inexperienced pickers. Their first couple of opens helps you build the confidence needed to work into the higher level locks. Despite what you might have heard, as far as I know, talking with Master Lock themselves, there are no security pins in this lock. What you're feeling when picking a lock like this, if you're feeling a heavy binding or extra clicks, is actually just from tension and the varying nature of the key pins. Some of them will be less than perfectly round. Some of them will be a little bit bigger or thinner than the others. But it does not mean that it is a extremely easy pick, nor does it mean that it is an impossible pick. These can be picked up from the hardware store, Home Depot, Lowe's, even CVS, Walgreens sells them as like suitcase locks and such. They're about $8-9. I've seen them as low as like $3 or $4, and they're in part of a series. So the Master Lock 140, you have the 150, and also 160. It even goes higher than that. But this is part of Master Lock's basically civilian level locks. Above all of these would be the professional series, where they start to use security pins on a more regular basis. And you have locks specifically with only security pins. But today we're going to pick this and I go over some tips when picking it that hopefully can help you guys out when you give it a shot yourselves. Go ahead and get a vise over here. Due to the heavy-duty construction of the lock, I imagine they're doing that for utilitarian, so it looks stronger, but it allows you to get a nice good bite with the vise without actually hindering or otherwise bending the lock body. And I just want to show you that this lock does function. Probably should have done that before I put it in the vise. It is locked. I do have functional keys. Sorry if that left the frame there. I do have functional keys. So we're going to put that in the vise and see if we can actually pick this guy or if he's a little camera shy. Go ahead and put those up there. I'm going to be using a Peterson pry bar in 40 thousandths. My favorite go-to when it comes to tension tools. You see I have a couple of them here. This is the Sparrow set. They're knurled flat bars. While I do like these, they do tend to be thinner and a lot more flexible, which when I'm picking a lock, I'd rather there not be a lot of flex in my tension tool. I want it to stay as rigid as possible. I'm sure there's a joke in there to be made. I'm going to be using a cheap pick with a cheap lock. This is a 25 thousandth Southord shallow hook. The trick with tensioning with these locks is to be extremely light. Extremely light. Now, if I were to go any lighter, than the tension I'm putting on this lock right now. And I'll do it with my thumb here. Maybe that'll help sell the point a little bit better. If I was to go any bit less, make sure I'm all the way in here. If I go any bit less, it'll fall out. It's hard when you're watching lockpicking videos to gauge how much tension someone is actually applying based off the squishiness of their thumb. Some people have squishy thumbs or squishy index fingers. Some people do not. So not a good way to gauge tension. Or some people like to gauge it off the flex of the tension tool. Well, depending on your tension tools, some of them are just naturally very, very flexible. So even putting a light tension is still going to cause a flex. So an inexperienced picker has a tendency to look at that tension bar flexing and think that excessive tension is necessary. Here, if we're putting excessive tension on here, we will not get this lock open, or it's going to be a lot harder than it actually needs to be. We just want super, super light tension. We're just touching it. I often like to use the analogy about what the pressure is that you would touch your eyeball. And as we're digging around in here, we want to make sure we're getting a firm touch on each pin, and then we will just need very light pressure to pick up and set each pin. So let's shut up and pick here. I have nothing on 1, nothing on 2, nothing on 3, 4 is binding, nice and slow, 4 is set, coming back up front, nothing on 1, maybe something on 2 there, let's try it. Okay, I think that was a proper set. Go back and check, I think I just skipped over 3. Let me go back, check 3. And check 1. Oof. That might have been 2. 1 is so small it's hiding behind my wrench here. Everything feels set. I'm gonna go give a little wiggle test. See where we're at. All right, let's start this over. Make sure all of our pins have reset. Light tension just like before. I think I might have bumped 1 last time and it got set out of sequence and it was just kind of stuck there. Again, with the mushiness of this lock, it's definitely a problem that you're going to have to face if you're trying to pick it. So be prepared. It's okay to let go. Sometimes it's exactly what's needed. Other times you don't want to let go because you feel like you're going to lose all your progress. But just know on a 4-pin lock that your progress is probably only a couple minutes, hopefully, at best, right? So we got 4 set. Come back up front. 1, nothing on 2. I believe that's 3. Okay. Still nothing on 1. I'm going to tighten up my tension for a second because I do not want to set something out of order. Checking on 2. Backing off the tension as I push up on it. This way I don't back off where I drop everything. Okay. And then check out 1. Just going through making sure we didn't drop anything else. It feels like we did. My 2-pin is completely stuck to go with the problems with these padlocks and ultimately the just toughness of their core, the sponginess, if you will. My literally number 2 pin, there it goes. It was jammed, even with very, very minimal tension. Master Lock 140. Now, from here, one thing I do want to talk about is Master Lock's just ultimate lack of security. I would not recommend this lock or any of the Master Lock residential or personal use locks to secure anything. Just know, if this is the lock you purchase for $7 or $8, like, it's fine for your luggage, which ultimately they would get in anyway. But the problems with it are that it's very unsecure. It does have some minor drill protection, but that's not really going to stop all forms of attack. The shackle, while it's hardened, is still able to be snipped with a snip pretty easily. It can be bypassed, and there are numerous different bypasses out there that will work for Master Locks. Just know, for as little as $3, I can have a key to your Master Lock 140, 150, 160s, no matter what. So, see if I can do this while showing the camera. Line up on the key pins and slowly lift up. While lifting up, I'm applying turning pressure clockwise, trying to find that shear line. And as soon as I find it, it will turn. There you go. $3. I now have a key to every Master Lock in the residential series. So, until the next video, stay safe, have fun, stay legal, and keep on picking. Thank you.